New reaction to the U.S. Supreme Court shutting the door on plans for a taxpayer-funded religious charter school in Oklahoma for now.
It would have been the first in the whole nation. Today's 4-4 deadlock by the High Court keeps a previous Oklahoma Supreme Court ruling in place, which said the launch of St. Isidore of Seville Catholic Virtual Charter School violates the state and federal constitution.
But tonight, Oklahoma State Superintendent is vowing this fight is nowhere close to being over.
News 4's Spencer Humphrey tells us what Ryan Walters says those potential steps may include. What'd you find out, Spencer?
Well, Walters says he's going to fight this by any means necessary, whether that's amending our state's constitution or joining similar lawsuits trying to open religious public schools in other states. But in that case, it would have to meet some certain criteria.
When citizens' rights have been trampled.
Oklahoma State Superintendent Ryan Walters not too happy with the nation's highest court.
Where the Supreme Court has got it wrong.
Not after their split decision Thursday effectively killed Oklahoma's plans to fund a religious school with taxpayer money.
I believe that this decision is antithetical to the religious freedoms in our U.S. Constitution.
Oklahoma's top legal interpreter, Republican Attorney General Gentner Drummond, feeling just the opposite.
I'm relieved that we continue to have freedom of religion in the United States.
Be that as it may, Walters is making clear this thing ain't over.
That we will continue to move forward to find any kind of avenue possible for this school and others like it to be able to exist in Oklahoma.
Will it be worth that cost, that legal fight? I can't imagine that that's cheap.
Absolutely. I don't think you can put a price on religious liberty.
So how would Walters keep the fight going? Well, since the U.S. Supreme Court deadlocked, they didn't actually rule one way or the other, meaning the Oklahoma State Supreme Court's previous ruling, which found the state constitution clearly bans the state from funding religion, gets to stay in place. For now.
We're also looking at a potential amendment to the state constitution. We should be crystal clear that funds can be spent for religious purposes.
The only way to amend the state's constitution is by sending it to a statewide vote of the people, and that actually happened in 2016 when nearly 60% of Oklahoma voters shot down a proposed amendment to allow the state to spend money for religious purposes. So if the voters do that again, Walters has other ideas.
What we've been looking at today are what are the other ways that we can get this back to the Supreme Court?
See, the 9-member U.S. Supreme Court was only able to deadlock on Thursday because conservative Justice Amy Coney Barrett recused herself due to some conflicts of interest in this particular case. But if a similar lawsuit, say from another state, made its way to SCOTUS, she could take part in a ruling. Walters offering to lend his support to those lawsuits.
And yes, we would. I mean, if it's a similar situation, I mean, again, I need to see the specifics.
And when it comes to those specifics.
If it from another state were a similar lawsuit, except instead of a Catholic school, it were an Islamic school, would you support that lawsuit?
You're really wanting to get me on that one, aren't you? You're really wanting to get me on answer that one. Look, in our state, it's very clear. In our state, the criteria have to be met for you to be a charter.
So back to the question, if it were a state that came up with an Islamic charter school, if that were the situation, would you support that?
Well, that wouldn't meet our criteria, so.
Governor Stitt also echoed Walters' ideas about getting the case back to the U.S. Supreme Court in his own statement today. Of course, it was Attorney General Gentner Drummond who led the fight to stop this from happening, making arguments before the U.S. Supreme Court. This whole time, he's been saying if the state were to fund a religious school, that would open a Pandora's box of sorts, he says, because if the state could fund one religious school, they'd have to fund every religious school, he says, even things like the Satanic Temple. Drummond calls today's events a win for religious liberty.
Every family can choose when to worship, with whom to worship, and how to worship, and that the state will not be involved in creating religion.
Of course, we'll keep monitoring all this and let you know if and when new cases get filed.